Subcommittee on International Commercial Arbitration Case Law, which I'm co-chairing with Leach and Kao, has two principal tasks. The first one is to collect non-confidential international commercial arbitration awards on a truly global basis. And the second is to write then annual reports on specific substantive legal issues based on those collected international commercial arbitration awards. And we have so far really focused on the first task, the collection of the non-confidential international commercial arbitration awards. We have over 20 subcommittee members who represent the key jurisdictions for international arbitration and some of the key institutions for international arbitrations. And they really have gone out to collect a number of international commercial arbitration awards that are publicly available. For instance, in jurisdictions where court files are accessible, they have retrieved arbitration awards from set-aside proceedings or enforcement proceedings. They've worked with regional institutions to get some of their non-confidential awards or have otherwise collected those awards. And what's very important to us that we do this on a truly universal basis and that we include arbitration awards from in various languages from all over the world. So we don't limit this to the traditional old arbitration jurisdictions. The biggest challenge that the subcommittee really faced was to find then a database on which we can put those arbitration awards in order to make them publicly available. We've spent quite some time looking for somebody to partner with to have such a database. We have been discussing this with some international institutions. We have been discussing this with a number of law firms who were interested, law schools who were interested, but did not have the necessary funds for that sort of project. And this is until Anish Patel from Three Crowns came up with the great idea, why don't you guys look at Jus Mundi? Jus Mundi, as you will all know, is a search engine provider for international law and for arbitration. And they have already started a similar project. And Lichun and I entered in discussions with them then. And I'm really very happy and thrilled to announce that we have now entered into a partnership. This is an exclusive partnership that IBA will be having with Jus Mundi for international commercial arbitration awards. And the way that's going to work is that our subcommittee members will send their collected international commercial arbitration awards to Jus Mundi. Jus Mundi will then scan them. They will pseudonymize the personal data with the exception of the names of the arbitrators. They will identify the legal concepts that are being discussed in each paragraph, insert hyperlinks, and make those awards then publicly available, and also provide a multilingual search mechanism, which would allow the users to search, for instance, by entering an English term about a particular substantive issue, and then have arbitration awards come up in multiple languages. Now, what has been very important for us, for the IBA, is that this database is accessible for everyone, and it is accessible at no cost. And very thrilled to report that Jus Mundi agreed to make the database available at no cost. You do not need a Jus Mundi subscription in order to access the database. If you do have a subscription to Jus Mundi, you will have some additional features such as their sitemap, their arbitrator analytics, and their conflict checker. But at no cost, you can search all the arbitration awards that we have collected. And it's an ongoing project. Subcommittee members will continue to contribute arbitration awards to the database, and it will be growing over the coming months and the coming years. The idea is that it will become available relatively soon after this town hall. And I think the importance of the project is really that, as far as we're aware, there is no such universal database for international commercial arbitration awards so far. So that's is going to be a big first. It's obviously a great source for research, but I think more than that, I think it has the potential to contribute to the development of law, because so many subject matter areas such as M&A disputes, oil and gas disputes, and many other disputes that involve large amounts of money are nowadays decided by international arbitration. And the case law of international arbitration it has so far been accessible only with great difficulties. And by making these non-confidential awards publicly available and searchable, I think we can make a small contribution, the IBA can make a small contribution to the development of both common law and civil law. That's at least the intention. Lichun, I'll let you add some further thoughts to that.
I think both Dietmar and myself, we are grateful to getting Philip the committee leadership for the guidance. Speaking for myself, I'm grateful to Dietmar for handling the bulk of the work for the committee, for the subcommittee. We feel excited about the new partnership with Jus Mundi, and with their assistance, we are finally able to move forward, collect more arbitral awards, and achieve the purposes of the subcommittee. So far, we have 20 subcommittee members who are working on the collection of commercial arbitral awards. Basically, we can cover maybe 20 to 30 jurisdictions. Apparently, that's not enough. We need to cover more jurisdictions, and we hope every member of the arbitration committee can support us by sending over commercial arbitral awards. This is to the benefit of the entire arbitration community. Whoever make a contribution by providing arbitral awards, the contribution will be duly recognized on the document with the contributor's consent. I think with more awards in the database, the subcommittee will be able to carry out the task of drafting and writing annual report on substantive law issues that are important to international dispute resolution. This is something we have been aiming to achieve, and we also look forward to working with everyone in that context. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lichun and Dietmar, and all the members of subcommittee who worked on this truly important new practice tool. So thank you very much for that indeed.